Welcome back, everybody. Lightning ESL, Teacher's Diaries. Today's student, her name was Crystal. Crystal. I was teaching public speaking. Now, why am I swimming like this? Very important reason. Crystal was from China, and she had to do a presentation in class. Now, presentation was about the human body cell. Now, she was a student in my college here in Toronto area, and herself and three other people were in the group, all on talking about the human body cell. You're saying, why is Mr. Little swimming? Well, three of the students did their presentation, and last person to do the presentation with them was Crystal. Crystal was a very shy individual. She really was. And a major project had to be done at the end of the semester. So her project I mentioned before was the human body cell. So before her participation started, I walked up to Crystal and said, Crystal, what do you like to do the most? What do you love to do? She said, swimming. Swimming. So I said to Crystal, let's go to the whiteboard just for a second and draw on a circle. In the circle, draw a miniature circle and waves. Pretend you are swimming around the human body cell. And before you start your part of the speech, go like this. Pretend you're swimming. Front and this way, side stroke, and so on. And guess what? Eventually, everybody in the room is going to start swimming, doing a presentation like swimming. I want you to do your speech about the human body cell. Pretend you are swimming around an island. You drew on the board a circle and a small circle. Let's pretend inside that circle is a nucleus. Remember, we're talking about the human body cell. So talk about that. You're swimming around the human body cell, which has nucleus, and protoplasm, which is all the waves which you've drawn, and keep on swimming. And guess what? Tell everybody. We had 65 girls in the class. Every group did their own presentation. But Crystal, on hers, was the human body cell, like I said. And she was the last part of that group, like I mentioned. Her part was only supposed to be 5 minutes. Well, guess what? Instead of 5 minutes, it turned into 15 minutes. And she was going like this. And we had 65 girls, in the classroom, pretending they're swimming around a human body cell. When it was over, her part of the presentation, everybody was still standing and swimming, and they all clapped. 65 girls clapped. You know why they clapped? Not just the presentation. It's because Crystal came out of her shell of fear and did her presentation totally open to what she loves to do and talk about, which was swimming. And that's why they were doing like this for 15 minutes of her speech. At the end of the speech, she came up to me, Mr. Little, what happened to me? What did you do? I said, I didn't do anything. You came out of your shell of fear. No more fear of public speaking. I remember that to this day because as she started her presentation, I took out my cell phone years ago and I said, can I film some of this for you to show you later? She said, sure. And that's what I did. I filmed 5 minutes of it. I really did. Of her swimming around the human body cell. Just to show you, I used very different techniques to help people create pleasure and happiness and joy away from her fear of public speaking. And that's why I mentioned Crystal today on Teacher's Diaries. Just to show you, I'm very unique, very different instructor when it comes to public speaking. Anybody can memorize and memorize. I use all kinds of things in my public speaking classes, like I told you before. Toys, games, and food. And here's an example. I just drew a picture on the board. She drew it, pretending her passion came alive, swimming around the human body cell, which she used in her presentation. You see what I mean? That's why Crystal is special. I wanted you to know about it. She used swimming in her presentation to create pleasure and joy and doing a presentation, and her fear drifted away. So it can be done. That's right. Every case is different, like I mentioned. Everybody learns public speaking differently. There's no yes or no. So remember, I'm Mr. Little at brian.little324@gmail.com. If I can help you, please send your comments, and thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.